Alright, what's up everybody? JR Barthel Fitness, and we are back with this little mini series where we're talking about the easiest ways, where I give you my number one tip, I think, to really bring up particular muscle groups. And we're going to continue on this series of focusing on focusing on the chest, right? And in some of my recent videos, I focused on actually talking about the upper chest. So I'm going to link you guys that in the more information section below. And feel free to check that video out, because that's where this derived from. An individual asked a question, what's the best exercise to bring up the lower chest? So that's what we're going to focus on this video, and hopefully we can open your eyes to the anatomy, the information, and the basic aspect of chest training. So let's get started. Alright, so first things first, I think the biggest misconception when it comes to this particular question, what is the best way to work your lower chest, is the idea that there are three parts to our chest. And I think this is usually a derivative from the fact that there are three popular angles to hit our chest. And we all know them, whether we're doing presses or flies in some type of angle. I mean, a lot of us, we're told that when we do our incline, we're hitting our upper chest. When we do our flat, we're hitting our middle chest. And when we do declines, dips and things like that, we hit the lower chest. When really there is not an upper, middle, or lower chest. There's essentially the upper and lower chest, if you want to call it that. So let's clarify that right now. So if the question were to really come about how to hit the lower chest, now we know that there really isn't three tiers to our chest. The answer is essentially, what's the best way to hit this portion of the chest? Now, without getting too complicated and too crazy, because you really can with muscle, and that's what's fun about it. The truth is, a lot of people automatically correlate decline presses with, that's how you hit that lower chest to make it better. And the real reason I think people want to make a particular muscle group looks better is just the fact that they obviously want it to look better. And the truth is we tend to hold adipose in our body, especially in this clavicular region and in our chest. If you ever noticed, you don't necessarily hold a whole lot of fat in the upper portion, your delts, your traps, all in this area. We don't tend to hold as much fat compared to other areas. That's just our genetic makeup. That's just how our bodies hold. We tend to like to hold fat around this particular area because it's holding all our organs, and we can debate this and that, but that's probably the main reason why we've evolved, holding more adipose and fat tissue there. And the truth is, for the chest, we don't hold a lot of fat up here. We tend to hold it on the lower portion of the chest. That is where the fat gets usually stored. So people automatically think, man, I gotta work on my lower chest. It's weak. It doesn't look as good, because typically there's the tissue that we don't like to look at, which is fat, which is holding in that lower nipple region, if you will, portion of your chest. So you can make your lower chest look a lot better by just burning body fat. But as far as a training tactic, a lot of you people are already training your lower chest now. And what I mean by that is a lot of people are actually, and while there is no lower chest, so you're doing your presses, but a lot of people are actually already creating a decline style movement now. There's been a lot of debate in the YouTube community about how declines recruit muscle better than flat presses and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not really here to argue that. I think it's very hard to say that one particular movement is going to be, especially in a comparison between a flat press and a decline press, is going to be that much more beneficial in the short and or long term for the pec muscles, when really the truth is a lot of people are creating a decline style angle in their pressing anyway. So when the question usually came about, how do I focus my lower chest, people usually think, well, decline style movements. And really, you hit that lower portion in every pressing movement. It becomes more dominant in your flat and decline angles. But believe it or not, most people, and that's the point of this video, is to point out, you are probably actually already benching with the decline portion without actually hopping on the decline bench. Now, I'm going to give you guys my personal preference. I do not like benching on the decline bench. It's uncomfortable. Part of that's due to the fact that I simply just don't do it. And then on top of that, it puts a lot of stress in my joints and all that stuff. I honestly prefer, for myself and my athletes, a flat press. Now, there's a lot of different ways you guys can do your bench press, and I think a lot of people nowadays bench in what I like to call a powerful position. So what they do is, say they're laid up on their bench, right, and they're about to do their pressing. Their backs aren't flat when they press, and they don't just go like this. Their backs are not flat. A lot of us have learned the information, if you're not doing this, you should, to squeeze our basically bring back our scapulas, retract, okay, do retraction and squeeze and tuck them back. That helps engage things and activate lats and just get you in a powerful position. But also, a lot of people arch back, okay? You gotta understand, biomechanics has a lot to do with angles. Right here we create about a 90-degree angle. A lot of us aren't just bench pressing flat like this and going like this. What do? We squeeze our reticulate and we arch back and we press. So what have I done? I've essentially created, because if I were flat, basically the angle from my elbow joint to my humerus would be about 90 degrees, so it would be right around here. Well, because I'm arched back like this, I actually have already created a slight decline movement. So believe it or not, a lot of people think, well, maybe I should do more decline movement. The truth is, if you bench with a powerful position, especially with your flat press, whether it's barbell, dumbbell, or if you're on a machine, a lot of people tuck their elbows back, they bring back their scapulas and they retract and they arch their back and they press. You're actually creating a slight decline as it is. So really the point of this video is to mention the fact that there aren't three portions to the chest. Don't think that incline is going to hit a different area than essentially the middle and the lower pec. There's really this part and this part, and they all come into play. You can focus more on the upper chest and the incline, but you're still bringing in that lower portion. Just realize also, when it comes to the fact of bringing up and making your lower chest look better, a lot of that is a body fat issue, like we talked about. And if for those of you guys who think that you're not training the lower portion of your chest, you usually are. And then if you even go to the extreme of thinking you're not hitting a decline angle, you probably are. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Like I said, I don't really think that anybody out there is really lacking in their lower chest. It's just bring up your chest in general, work on your pressing, work on nutrition protocols to develop hypertrophy. But the best way probably to get a look that you want, to be like, man, it doesn't look as good compared to other areas, usually body fat issues. So hopefully that helps you guys out. JR Barthel Fitness. Check out my website, tons of sweet clothing and my supplement line. Other than that, I will see you guys in new videos soon. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and I don't even know if people still tweet, but check me out on that as well. Peace.